Assalamu alaikum everyone, hope you are doing great. Today I am going to provide you an overview of the system architecture of Finance Tracker. I am Mohammad Saqib Hussain, the team leader of Team Procrastinator, and here are my teammates Shatil Shariar Khan and Ridwan Bhuya Rafio. Today we will discuss technology stack, development methodologies, project architecture, code quality metrics, deployment, and the future scope of our project. We have built our API using .NET 8 and Microsoft SQL Server, and for our client side application we have built it using Next.js. At first we will see the entities related to the functionalities of personal finance management. A user can have multiple wallet, a user can also have multiple category and multiple transaction. Each transaction is related to a single category and a single wallet. Next we have loan management. A user can lend loan, borrows loan, or a user can also make loan request and receive loan request. The loan can have a loan request as a foreign key, but it's optional. So whenever their foreign key is null, it indicates that the loan request is independent and the user can update the records as he can. But whenever there is a loan request as a foreign key loan request ID, then the user have to go through the process, like whenever the user will create loan request, will send a loan request and the loan request is accepted, a loan will be issued, and the user who is borrowed the money, so he will be able to claim the loan request. And whenever a user will pay installment, the installment claim will be generated. So we have chosen agile methodology for our development model because it is an incremental and iterative process which can help us adapting the change in the development lifecycle. The architectural pattern of our project is monolith architecture. Here, API controllers, services, repositories, and business logic is bundled together in a single unit. For organizing our code, we have chosen clean architecture. The innermost layer of the clean architecture is domain. Here entities, value objects, and other domain-centric classes are stored. The outer layer is application layer, which is also known as use case layer. It handles the business logic. And the outermost layer is infrastructure and presentation layer. So the infrastructure is responsible for the data persistence layer and data retrieval implementation and other infrastructure specific implementation, and the presentation layer or web UI layer, whichever we say, is mainly responsible for the controller classes, and this will interact with the client application. As our GitHub repository is a monorepo, that's why we have separated directory for backend and frontend. For backend, we have source directory and test directory. For the source directory, as we have implemented the clean architecture, we have 4 different projects. The first one is the API project, which is basically containing the controllers. Then we have infrastructure, which is containing the logic related to data persistence, the implementation of repositories, and database migrations. The application the application project is containing the use cases, like it has command and queries for operation related to each entity. As we have separated command and queries, so we can see that we have implemented CQRS pattern using the mediator package. And the innermost layer we have domain the domain project, which contains entities, constant, and domain exceptions. And here are the additional tools and libraries we have used in our project. For object relational mapping, we have used entity framework core. For authentication, we have utilized ASP.NET Core identity, and for request validation, we have used fluent validation package. For front end building and for building UI library, we have used ChatCN UI, and for authentication like storing user session, user access token, rotating refresh token, we have used Auth.js. For developing our project, we have followed the Git flow branching model. Here, a develop branch is originated from the main branch, and we create feature branch from the development branch. Whenever a feature is completed, we merge them back to development branch, and a set of feature when is ready to release, we create a release branch, and after testing release branch, we merge them to the main branch. So here is the code quality matrix of our project. So a total 3300 line of code has been analyzed. So we have 0 security issue, 0 reliability issue, and 0 maintainability issue, and we have covered 98% of our code, and we also have 0% duplication. We have deployed our project in Azure. So basically we deployed our API to Azure App Service, our database to Azure SQL database, and for monitoring we used Azure App Insight, and our client-side application is deployed on render.com. Now I'm going to discuss the features of our project. So we can introduce financial groups which will allow users to track their income and expense in common group, so they can split their contribution and participate in shared expense on some other group financial group related stuff. We can improve the analytics and insight for our project. We can introduce robust searching and filtering for finding transaction data easily. We can introduce reminder and notification for user accessibility, and we can use native mobile. We can introduce a native mobile application for ease of user experience, and the most important part is whenever our application will grow, we have to optimize it for scalability, like uh, introducing caching mechanism or load balancing and other performance improvement stuff. So that's all about our system architecture. Thank you for staying with us.